Okay, welcome back, guys. Today, I'd like to go on our series of Vulnhub. The virtual machine will be Hacker Fest in 2019. I will put the link into the description section below so you can download the image of this virtual machine. And before we start, if you do not mind, please subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate your help and support. So let's get started. To save the time, I have already imported the virtual machine to the VirtualBox, and the IP address has been identified as 254. Of course, the virtual machine is in the same network with the Kali Linux, and I also done the Nmap scanning, and as you can see, the options for this Nmap, I did the scene scan, the service scan, and the script scan, and also I did the comprehensive scan. So from the Nmap scanning result, as you can see over here, the four open ports. The first one is 21, which runs FTP, and the version is VSFTPD 3.0.3. And I think I'm certain that this version doesn't have any vulnerability we can exploit. And the next port, open port, which is 22, runs SSH service and also is invulnerable. And the next one is 80, which runs HTTP service, and also there is another one of the 1 or 10,000, and which runs SSL, and also the version number, the miniserve, and the webmin. So of course now we need to do some basic emulation for the FTP service and also the other two HTTP or HTTPS service, excuse me. So now we can do the FTP. We can FTP, and let's log in and anonymous as username, and we have already successfully logged in to the FTP as anonymous users. We can list the content, and I think there's several files which are related to the WordPress. For example, like WordPress config file, and also the directory WordPress admin. So I think from this point we can know the target is running some WordPress site, right? And we can get this file, get the config, okay, and quit, and we can cut the content of this file. And as you can see, always, of course, the most noticeable thing or information is credentials for the database collection. As you can see from here, we have database username WordPress, and also the password, which is this one. Of course, the MySQL database doesn't present itself to the public. In other words, we cannot access remotely to this MySQL database, but we should keep in mind, if necessary, we can make use of this information to do some enumeration for this database. But now we need to do some enumeration for the 80 port. We can open up a new private window, and we can go to this address. So again, this from the return page, it confirms again this is some sort of WordPress CMS. And of course, what we can do now, we can do some WordPress scanning, and try to find out whether we can retrieve the username information and also the vulnerable plugins. Okay, we can use WordPress scan and specify the URL, specify the IP address, and use the option of E, and I think it's good. Yeah, now we have already got the webmaster, and we can try to brute force this password for webmaster. We can specify the U and webmaster, and specify the word list as RockQ. Let's go. And it will start brute force attack on this user. Oh, but there's some errors. So maybe the target has some sort of a firewall. And but if we remember, we have another open port which is 10,000, and we can visit this port. HTTPS and advanced and accept the risk and continue. And from here, of course, we can try some like weak password like admin and admin sign in, but it failed. And but I think also from the Nmap scanning result, we know the CMS for this port is webadmin, and also the version number is this one. If we can scroll up a bit, maybe I can cut the Nmap scanning result again. The version number is this one, so we can make a search, make internet search to find out whether this CMS has some availability we can exploit. And I already searched before, and I got this resource about the vulnerability for this version. And also you can see the metasploit has a module which is related to this vulnerability, and we can open up our metasploit by launching MSF console. Let's do it. And the metasploit is starting up. Yeah, very quick. And we can search webadmin, which is the name of the target's CMS, and we can use the seventh module, the backdoor, and we can show options, and we can set a localhost to our Kali Linux, and set a local port as 555. And also we need to set the server host as our Kali Linux. And I think for the server port we can leave the 8080. We do not need to make a change on that. But also we need to set the remote hosts. Set remote host as our target IP address. And we also need to set the remote port, which is 10,000, and we also need to SSL is true. Yeah, and I think we can show options again to see everything has been done correctly. Yeah, localhost, local port, server host. Target URL, we do not need to change on this. Set SSL true, yeah, it's up to the point because we have already confirmed by the browser, and also the remote host. I think everything is fine enough, and now we can just hit enter ROM, and now started to reverse TCP handler. So the target is vulnerable. And sending, yeah, we have already got the command shell session. We can check the ID. Yeah, we have already got the root shell. We do not need to innovate our privilege because now we have already got the root shell. We can make this shell interactive by importing pty module and spawn the bash. Yeah, we can go to the root directory, read the content. We got the root flag. Okay, so I think we have already completed this virtual machine. The difficulty level is so easy if we can find the correct direction or vector. If we stay the normal vector, in other words, we try to aim to the WordPress and try to find out like vulnerable plugin, or try to crack the password for the administrator. So maybe it will not work at all, and it also will cost a lot of time. But if we turn our attention to another open port, which is 10,000, and then we can get the job or task done very quickly. So that's all I'd like to demonstrate in this video. I hope to see you in the next one. And please do not forget, if you do not mind, please subscribe to my channel. Bye.